Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here, and this is your weekly fishing report. Before we start, let's talk about the gun bash. It is tomorrow. Now, most important thing here is the raffle. Remember, you can still sign up for the raffle until tomorrow afternoon, and you don't have to come in here to sign up. Go to our website, anglersannapolis.com. You can buy tickets right there, and you don't have to be present for the prices. We will give you a phone call if you win anything, so make sure you guys sign up, please, because hey, there's plenty of great prices. Now let's get started with the fishing report. So this past week, of course, we had super cold weather. Now we're going through that transition of typical Maryland weather. It's going nuts. We are having 70-degree temperature today, and it looks like it's going to be mild for the whole next 7 days. Hopefully that brings up the bite, because obviously the past few weeks it's been a little tough to get out there with all that cold weather. So not a lot of reports coming in, a few spotty reports from typical areas where you'll eventually find some fish in the winter. The problem was getting out of the marinas with all the ice, etc. If you guys have gone out the past 2 days, things it hasn't been that bad. There's been scatter fish all over the place, but nothing consistent like the bite we had a few weeks ago. We're hoping with this temperature and this warm spell, we get more bait in the area. There's been a few fish caught all over the place, like I mentioned, anywhere from, the mouth of the Eastern Bay area all the way down to Point Lookout. The technical spots are going to be pretty much the hill. If you're going to go out there, scan around there, make sure you have a good amount of current moving in there. Anywhere from 30 to 60 plus foot of water. Mouth of the Chop Tank, right in front of Chesapeake Beach. Work your way south towards the mouth of the Patuxent. And I will say something that I will say more confident this for this time of the year. If we talk about, the typical winter bite with quality and quantity of fish, will be really far south towards Point Lookout. I know some of those guys got into a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say a steady bite, but they found some more fish than some of the guys up here. Even myself was out there 2 days ago, and it was tough to find fish. Water temperature was around 36 in the morning, went up to almost 38, but it's stayed in the 37 mark. So let's hope this warm weather brings them in. Other than that, if you're out there, remember, have the appropriate weight sizes, especially when you're fishing this deep. If you have fish on the bottom and you're going to be fishing literally bouncing bottom, you're going to need 80 plus grams on your metal jigs. We're talking about 2.5 ounces to maybe 3.5 ounces. Cold snipers, the 80s and the 100s were probably my best weights to keep bottom and without having it scope out. If you have like a mile-an-hour current, sometimes the 100 was the best option to keep it straight and vertical. And of course, your 1.5 to 2, even 3 ounce jigs, depending on where you are and where those fish are. Obviously, if you're having suspended fish or magnum spoons, wait one good lure to get out there and try that out. Now let's talk about something different. If you don't want to get out there and try out for rockfish, what else is there to do around? There's actually plenty of things for you guys to go out there and do. Most of them kind of, I will say, take a little place more on the eastern shore. If you want to take a drive with the kids or just take a drive and do, hike a little bit, walk around. Most of it's going to be pond fishing and creek fishing. And of course, we're getting to the time of the year where yellow perch are starting to stage and start to move up in some of the creeks. We didn't have a lot of rain, so I wouldn't say there's going to be a lot of murky water, so that's a good thing. We're going to have some of those places get a little more active here in the next few weeks with more and more yellow perch moving up, especially with this mild temperature. So predictions for me, I will say get out there, go towards the Tuckahoe Creek, fish a little bit south, starting at the mouth of like Tuckahoe Creek, Stony Point, etc. If you're fishing from the shoreline, then Hillsborough is going to be a little good spot. It has always to just sit there and throw some bait out there. A few bobbers with some minnows and wait for some perch to hit. If you're fishing trout, remember DNR, I think, is still stocking some trout. Some of these creeks and ponds might not have gotten hit as hard because of the weather we had. So take a look at those maps on the DNR website and get out there and try it out, because I'm assuming there's some trout still left out there in those ponds. Crappie fishing and all of that. I will say probably Tuckahoe. There's what's that place up there? Smithville Lake, Unicorn Lake. All those places should be wide open with no skim ice now that the temperatures are going to be rising here in the next few days. So, minnows, small feather jigs under a bobber, small spinner baits, and you'll also find Mr. Pickerel swimming around, and you'll probably hook a few of those while doing that. It's also, you know, a great time to go catfishing. If you want to take a little drive to the Patuxent, down towards Jug Bay, talking about Weiss Point, or in all those areas down in Jug Bay, that there's a lot of little parks in that area where you can go and fish, and also in the Potomac. So check those areas out. There's thousands of little spots in the Potomac where you can go shore fishing, and all you need is just some cut bunker, sinker on the bottom, and you'll catch some monster catfish. So don't be discouraged from the weather, especially this upcoming week. It looks beautiful, so get out there, come by, get some bait, get some lures, get some tips from us, and we'll see you guys next week.